He was born into privilege, the son of a black tech mogul and a Korean heiress, but no amount of wealth could shield him from the looks, the whispers, the question of who or what he really is. In a world addicted to labels, he's too Korean to be black, too black to be Korean, and too dangerous to be both. The world hates what it can't define, and when justice fails, the ridiculers look for him to fail. But does he cave into anger, or does he persevere to be better than the world around him, to fight not just the crime, but the prejudice wired into its foundations? Every day, he walks the edge, hero or vigilante, justice or vengeance. Can someone really save a world that hates what you are? Find out how his parents overcame traditional prejudice and mended two different worlds into one. Welcome to the origin story of Dark Wave.
Shall break, the tide will rise. Different faces, same disguise. Lines divide, but truth remains. Underneath, we're all the same.
One force, one fight, Dark Wave.
Dark Wave Episode 5. Confessions of Feelings from Jaya and a Jealous Heart of Envy.
Weeks had drifted by along with the silence. Not the kind that's peaceful, but the kind that stretches, taut and heavy, between two people afraid to speak the truth. Between James and Gia, that silence was a wall. An invisible one, but very real. Each glance they exchanged chipped away at it. Every near touch, every shared laugh cracked it just a little more. Gia felt it, the slow unraveling of her fears, the weight of expectations, the unspoken warnings from her parents. And yet, every time James looked at her, those fears faded. Like mist retreating under morning sun. Finally, the time had arrived when the inevitable happened.
Tomorrow, I'm going to ask James if he likes my hair. This will be a good time to confess to him how I feel.
They walked together through the quiet campus garden, where only the rustle of leaves filled the silence. Gia had imagined this moment so many times, but now that it was real, the words tangled in her throat. How do you begin when everything you want feels just out of reach? She looked at James, so confident, so honest, so unapologetically himself. And Gia, she was the cautious one, the quiet one, always in the background. But now, something inside her roared to be heard, and she couldn't hold it back anymore. She tucked a strand of her newly dyed hair behind her ear, a small gesture, but one that felt monumental. Gia softly and uncertainly said,
James, do you notice anything different about me today?
He turned to her, eyes scanning gently, until he smiled. James,
Your hair. It's a different color. Very nice. Like it just...
her heart skipped, thinking he noticed.
I colored it cinnamon red. Do you like it?
James, cocking his head, letting the light catch.
Cinnamon, huh? It looks absolutely stunning on you. And I do like redheads, but I've never seen a redhead as beautiful and intelligent as you.
Really? I remember that. You said you liked redheads.
Then James moves her hair, and they both laugh as she states that he is doing a K-drama move of touching a strand of hair away from her eyes. James laughs and walks away to hide how funny her reply was to him, but she saw that he was entertained and followed him and asked him to repeat the cliché, because it worked. Afterwards, he repeated that her hair looked great, but she is free to do what pleases her. Then she said,
James, I've been thinking a lot about everything you've done for me. You've shown me kindness, strength, and so much more. But I've been scared of getting too close, of what people might think and what my parents might say. But I realize now that it doesn't matter. You've shown me who you are, and that's all that matters.
James smiled, the tension in his shoulders easing. As his smile softened, the wall between them crumbled. Every moment of brief glances toward each other, every quiet moment shared, and every unspoken feeling had led them here at this moment in time. No more pretending, no more hiding, and no more waiting, because when the mind and heart knows, and everything morally makes sense, it's only a matter of time before everything else follows. And so, beneath the fading light, with the scent of spring in the air, Gia finally stepped into the light, away from the darkness of fear, and into something graciously and acceptably real. James chuckled softly, then with a genuine,
I haven't confessed my feelings to you yet, Gia, but I think my actions have already spoken for me.
and in that moment, Gia felt an overwhelming sensation of emotions and love for James. The warmth was creeping into her cheeks, the way her heart pounded against her chest. She hadn't realized just how much she had fallen in love with James, until now. So she then confidently replied, nodding in acknowledgement.
They have.
And with that, the wall between them crumbled, replaced by something new, something stronger. Real love and a growing bond of. Meanwhile, a figure in the distance looks at the budding romance between Gia and James. This figure appeared to be one of beauty but with ill intent, standing and spying behind and beneath an unusually large tree with cherry blossoms, and beside ancient stone walkways, and into the opulent halls of Yanawa University. A new chapter begins to unfold, one of ambition, desire, envy, and frustration.
James is the perfect match for me. Both of our skins are nearly the same color. He is rich, highly intelligent, and has respect. I am much better for him than Gia.
As she turns around and walks with greedy jealousy all over her face, she says to herself,
So, if James likes red hair, wait until he sees me now. I am much prettier than Gia. We have much more in common than Gia ever will. She is Korean and very pale compared to me. There is no match. He will not give her a second thought after seeing me with red hair. And then, he will be mine.
what twisted ordeal will she put James through to obtain him? Will she be successful in getting James to compromise his principles? Will she succeed in breaking them up? In 2 weeks, see the trials that Nari puts James through to break him, and the lies and rumors that nearly break up the parents of the future.
Dark Wave.
Don't break, the tide will rise. Different faces, same disguise. Lines divide, but truth remains. Underneath, we're all the same. One force, one fight, dark wave. One force, one fight, dark wave.
dark wave.